What's up? Part 2. We are back in action. Hopefully everybody gets on. Battery died, so we're back at part 2, and Aaron's here. I don't have the gimbal turned on yet because I'm worried that the gimbal will die next.
The gimbal?
I'm gonna let Aaron monitor this. I'm going to do a restroom break, grab a water, and we're gonna get back to the Camaro.
Hi guys. I've got on my little blue blocker glasses. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Welcome back, Ty. Juby's gonna do a pit stop in the potty, and then we're gonna get back going. I got my phone on the back wall, getting a little juice too. And then after this one dies, I'm gonna go home. Juby's gonna stay and keep on working, but I don't think we have another battery to go to after this one.
Oh, you got me some energy drink?
Uh-huh. Whatever you want.
Thank you.
You're gonna get H2O.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to be better.
Yeah, so, I guess we'll jump back. Who's here with us?
Pete said he stopped in, but he's gotta go because he's gotta get up at 3:30 to fix jets. Well, we thank you, Pete, for stopping in. That's awesome. And we got EL back and Ty, and looks like we got 5 guys, which was the first boat, so.
Yeah, it don't matter. Everybody will watch it tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just I'm here, I'm working. Might as well be running the camera.
Yeah. Trying to get it all online so y'all can watch it either now, live, or later, whenever's good for you guys, because we know it's almost 9 o'clock at night. Some people got things
and I
to
got
do.
a lot of stuff to do on this car before 9 o'clock in the morning.
Here we go. Oh, so I have no control until I turn this guy on. It just wiggles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you turn it on?
No.
Woo. Unreal.
If I didn't have it facing myself.
Where's my holy gloves?
Oh my goodness.
They're up there. So,
see if I can get linked back on my phone.
yeah. You can set the camera down for a second if you need.
Nah.
Hey, pretty much, here's my clamp. Right there, I'm gonna go ahead and pop these clamps off so I can get up under them and weld.
AUR says your gloves are an archaeological artifact.
Yeah, they are. All of them. I got a pair under my toolbox, so there's just the same. They might not be quite as bad, but this is my trademark.
Yeah.
You'll know if there's an imposter in here because he won't put on my gloves.
Yeah.
I can promise you that. If you see how holy they are, just imagine how bad they smell.
Oh.
They're horrible.
I think it's a sign that you're working.
Nah, they don't really smell bad. They just,
Wes said that was a perfect intermission.
yeah, grab your popcorn.
Yeah. We got 10.
All right. So,
Thank you guys for coming back.
Caught up to that corner. I'm going to slide my...
One day I'm going to try to train this cornbread southern accent out. But as of right now, this is how I talk.
Uh-huh. Trying to figure out how I want to get in between this
How to
thing.
hold it.
Some one-armed action there. Oh, means I didn't get it clean with that one arm action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's no plane.
Wow!
So I'm gonna hit that one again. But it didn't have no paint in there that time. The heat is on.
The heat is on.
Now, like I say, you don't want to hit these things. It will ground through it and it will blow a hole. So I'm going to bypass the clamp for right now.
On the street.
Like I say, that little handheld spot welder, it will get all these. I'll put my clamp back.
Well, when you got the big boy, why not use the big boy?
Yeah. Now I'm going to throw in a...
Hey, Mickey. She says Brian's been watching. That's good to know.
It wears it down pretty good.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to have to regrind it when I do the other side. But right now I'm going to throw in a new one, and I'm going to hit the front and the rear from the inside.
Do you install the windshield clip post?
The what?
The windshield trim clip post.
The little
peg things. What
yeah,
are they?
I do.
Pins.
You can actually see where I did it,
Yeah.
demonstrating it.
Mark
So-
where the window pins go.
Yeah, so I marked them and I showed how I marked them, and I'll do that. And this thing here actually puts them in there. I'll move this. I don't want to hit the roof when I'm in here pulling this thing around. I don't want to roll to both sides of the car.
Up to 14.
So I'm gonna start in the middle and work my way out.
EL says he appreciates us. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Sorry, this is a long process. I'm trying to go as fast as this thing will let me.
Gotta be done though.
Yeah, so might as well do it.
I might miss this car when it leaves.
I might not. Alright, so like I say, I worked from the inside out. Now I'm going to swap and work across.
But still inside out.
Inside to the outside.
Jay's Garage said it's faster than plug welding.
Yeah, and cleaner. Less grinding. So maybe $40,000 for one of these
Yeah.
might be worth it if you're building like we do.
Yeah. If you're gonna do more than one car, you'll probably get your time out of it.
I don't know. If I was gonna build about 5 cars, I probably still wouldn't.
Yeah.
If I only planned on building 5 cars, but
Maybe, I wonder if you could rent a pro spot.
I don't know. Maybe that's something I should start doing.
Yeah, renting out pro spots.
Rent a pro spot. You gotta have 3-phase electric. Most places don't have it.
Yeah, that's true.
And the amount of money it would take to put
3-phase in, yeah.
And
Woo!
hit a little dirty spot there. Go to the back. And hit the back now.
I know we've mentioned it before, but oh,
yeah,
got hot.
It's hot, so I'm gonna move it out of the car because it's loud. Let it cool down. See if I can figure out a way to make it so it don't fall. Shut it off and let it cool off. Now I'm gonna go ahead and throw the dash in.
Donnie, I say go for it. Ask your wife for a pro spot for Christmas.
So, have the dash. Let me grab a
well, that's a nice perk, Jay, to have a job that has a pro spot and lets you use it on your time. That's cool.
yeah.
But what I was gonna say is GM, I believe, had a 80% requirement as far as their successful welds. So on a typical factory Camaro, you may have 20% failure on your welds. And when we redo them, we do not do that. We do 100%, right?
Yes. So, we try to. I'm not gonna say that stuff ain't going. You can have one that sounds like a good one, and it'll read out on there that it was a good spot weld, and it failed, and it not be a good one. And plus you got human error.
That too.
Me might be listening and I can tell, and I've done it enough that I know if a spot weld was good or not by the way I feel it pulse. I don't even have to look at the machine. But somebody else doing it, it's just like the assembly line at GM when they were making them. Everybody's gotta have this many spot welds in this area and all that, and that ain't how it was. Yeah, they had a book that told you that that's how it was, but did it get done that way? No, it didn't. When it went down through there, John might put 50 spot welds in the inner door structure, and Jose might put 25. It's who was working the line, what day of the week, whatever.
Yeah.
But GM does have a book that says this amount of spot welds, and I guarantee you if you go and put exactly the spot welds, exactly like they said and all that, and you show it to somebody that knows GM, they're gonna be like, yeah, you built this car, because there's no way GM did it exactly that perfect. Unless you're Go-Go, because Go-Go, he's OCD, I'm OCD.
Roger.
But
we got a couple of OCDs in the bunch.
I try to make mine even, pretty much.
Yours is pretty.
But like I say, I can look at a Camaro and tell if it was spot welded by somebody else or if it was spot welded by GM, and that's just because I've seen so many and I've cut so many of them down that I know how erratic and crappy their patterns were on welding. You got to think, we build, typically we were on a good year, we're building 4 cars a month. So
35 to 55 cars a year.
So when you're doing that, you see a lot of cars. People, when I post pictures and all that at the shop, people comment on my stuff, look like a bunch of unfinished projects. I can take a picture today, and
in a month it'll be 4 different cars.
You can watch the channel and see what's in the background, and then in a month later, I guarantee you it's not the same cars in the background. got on?
We got 21.
Maybe we should start tech talk at like 9 o'clock.
Absolutely not.
And on a Thursday.
Wes wants to know if we got the dash put together like that. He's used to seeing just the dash top.
This is a full build, so it's the whole dash together. Now when we do a customer's car, usually we put in just a dash top and don't replace the whole dash. They do make the dash top, which is welded on here, but this, being though it's a new car, it's getting a whole new dash in it. So we generally just do the dash top.
Roger said Jose only puts in 27 welds.
Uh-oh. Where's my Juby can't tell you how many he puts in his.
It's by heart. Is it AMD? The complete?
Dynacorn.
Dynacorn makes the complete dash.
AMD don't make much Camaro stuff. I mean, they make a good bit of it, but
they make the general stuff that rust out, but they don't, like, for as far as a full build, it's hard to find the smaller pieces. And
trying to find my, it's up there.
I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. We'll just do the last name. Polanski is a new first-time watcher. They're working on a 72 Chevelle. Well, welcome to the team. We'll give you some tips.
Yeah, we got a couple Chevelles in here. We got a 67, we got a 70,
a 66,
a 66, a 68.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we got...
I think 2023 is going to be the year of the Chevelle.
I think last year was the year of the Charger.
Yeah, and the year before that was the year of the Camaro. Yeah.
That's why we did 4 cars a month with 3 builders, because I was putting 2 Camaros out to the other 2 guys, 1 car.
Camaros typically don't take as long as a full build Mopar.
Unless you're me. I can build a full build Mopar in about a little bit longer than the Camaro, but if I hump down on it.
Wes, I reached out to Dynacorn about that firewall. They haven't got back to me yet. I've been doing a little struggling with my communication with these guys, so they got good parts, but their customer service needs a little adjustment. So I'm working on that for you, Wes. I promise I am.
Got that. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these little pieces off of the bottom.
Oh, your foamies?
Foams. Let me put some paint on these 2 spots right here. That's bare metal under there, and I don't want it.
Jay's Garage says that you put in the right amount of welds.
Yeah. Like I say, there's no set amount. I just,
yeah. Even when people say they're doing a concourse build, they cannot.
I mean, you can tell that's probably what they call for. I don't know exactly what they call for, but these are inch and a half, 5/8, inch and a half. Yeah, so I mean it's pretty much
pretty uniform.
Yeah.
To not have sat there and measured it out and marked each spot.
You're looking at 1 3/4 to an inch and 3/4, 1 3/4, 1 7/8, 1 3/4. Yeah. So I don't know what the factory is. I just go uniform and pretty much wear. So I'm gonna stick this up in here, and these pads supposed to go on the inside. So
is this little pad right there?
This is supposed to be on the inside of it, on both sides.
Supposed to be. Supposed to be.
Supposed to be. Now I gotta get that piece into there, but
look at it. We got a car.
I had to work it through because of the front and the gap right here. So let me pull this down.
We use Rubber Seal Medallion Refinish Systems Etch Weld Primer. The number on it is RS512. Pretty good stuff.
So I can tell right now, I don't know which one this is, but I'm gonna have to modify it a little bit.
Modify what?
So that it will go past it, because it's hitting right there.
Oh, okay.
So
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. And this dash top don't have the little piece generally that's right there. Now it would go on top of it. This one needs bent. This one over here, I'm just lining up that hole. I don't have no clamps.
He said he probably shouldn't clamp it because he's going to have to modify right here. But he's getting some clamps anyway. Preparation is key.
I probably might have to move it to get that other one. I've never had to modify it.
So this will be the first modification, you said?
Yeah. So, like I say, this one over here is pretty. I got the hole lined up on it. But what I usually like to do is look at this gap, and I'll come over there.
I'll have to come over there.
It needs to go up, I can tell. So I might. What I do is usually on the dash top piece, this piece comes down and it has a little kick over that matches this. So you want to get those two lined up, and usually this is lined up as well. So I can tell that point right there is probably where it needs to go. So that right there lined up with that point, and then usually that's about how much is sticking out. So it needs to go up some. Like I think this bracket over here is in the wrong spot. It's like it needs to bend up a little, but actually it looks about right. So I got to cut this so that I can get in there.
William taking notes. That's what we're here for, is give you stuff to write down.
So I'm gonna end up trimming this piece over here so that I can get it in there. And now I'm trying to figure out where. Right there. get my clamp in. It's in there. It's lined up. So I look at the edge and I get it kind of. Aaron's back over there now. But I look in here and I try and make this gap pretty even up through here. And then I'll get the other side and I look and get it even on the other side. And usually there's just that piece of trim piece that, or rubber, that snaps on and kind of tightens that up. But that's how I gauge my dash in the car. Then I come to the front of the car. I need another clamp. Oh, I got one right here. Quit looking, I found it. Now I'm on, I'm checking it. So I'm gonna put that there and I'm gonna get rid of it. I want it to stay, I want it low. So I can look at it. So I end up coming back and I look through the car and I'm gonna do this so I can move it over here. So I look through, let me shut this off. Let me do all this. I try to move stuff out of my way. But what I do is I look through, a lot of times when I'm building like the package tray and all that, I look through and I line this up. I try to line this up in the center with the center of my package tray. I get down where my eye level, where that meets that, and then I look at the profile of it to see if it looks off. You can do it against the back window. You know, you can gauge if you look at it in the center and it goes out. If it curves evenly, then you're pretty good. So I like to come back and I like to just move down until I get 2 points. And then I also like to stand and I like to look at it on a plane to where I'm looking level at it and see how it looks across the whole dash. So I'm pretty much there, because usually on the Camaro, these usually slope down out, and then this area right here looks kind of low. So it'll be kind of low, it'll come up and then it'll curve down. And that's how they do. Dash pad's gonna cover it, but I still want it to be in there right. And I move down. You can actually take this corner and this corner and move yourself down until you line it up with the corners of the structure here. And just look and make sure everything's is not out of square. So you can move down and you can hit it on the top of this to where it profiles with this on both sides. Then you can move it and check here and check there and make sure that everything inside the car is uniform. So I don't know if you know what I'm saying. It's like looking down my fingers, and I move my head till this finger meets the top of that finger. So I just move down till I get it there. If I'm above it, that finger's gonna look higher. If I'm below it, this finger's gonna look higher. So that's basically what I'm doing with my dash. I'm moving down, back window, and then the top of the roof line. And everything looks nice and uniform. If you got a stool, get a stool and stand up a good ways away from it.
And do the opposite.
And look down on it and look at your pillars, where your pillars hit your door jambs and all, and look through the car. Put the roof to the back of the deck lid, to the deck pillar, and just move down and use the top of the roof and do the same thing. And that's gonna tell you if your car's tweaked. You'll notice it. It's just a way to check it. Everybody's like, why you got braces and all that? I pull measurements, I put it on the measurements, I exit out. I like everything to be movable so I can put it where it needs to go, and then I look at it and see how uniform it is. Everything looks good on it. I can pretty much go ahead, nail this, that in there, and it looks pretty decent. So I'm gonna go ahead, get the spot welder back over here. I'm gonna fire it up and I'm gonna jump in the back, finish out the back of the roof, and we might roll around and I'll do the back corner. What are we looking like on battery?
We got 55%.
So let me go ahead and hit this roof.
It's dying a little faster than the other one.
Yeah, it's a knockoff.
David wanted to know if you can measure that somehow, or is that just calibrated eyeballs?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
no. Simple answer, no.
I mean, I could probably pull a measurement to the crease down here, but the glass on the Camaro floats, so they're gonna you're gonna stick the glass up in there high, and it's just gonna lay on this. And as long as you got enough area for your seam tape, and like I say, it's generally flush here. That mark right there on most of them, this is the first one I've seen that don't have it. It usually comes down just like an L like that and does it there. So you'll line that up with that one there. And then this here's gonna profile out, it should. And then I need to go up with it a little bit because I done lost them holes, but usually them two holes are usually got more, what is it, reveal, more reveal. And I've got to do this, but, oh, Erin's tearing her finger up.
Pinch myself.
What was that? So I'm gonna push it back up a little bit, but this is where I took that clamp off a while ago. And you don't really have to go by those, because who knows if this flange is bigger or smaller. But generally, most all of them, I could see more of them holes, and everything looks uniform. All this looks even here all the way across.
Talking about these little holes right here, if you can see them. They don't show up very good in the camera. I was just pointing them out.
But like I say, it's even here. Sometimes the corner right here of the dash pad has a little kick. Factory one has a little kick and it gets a stitch weld there. So I'll end up just making me a little piece, and I'll end up welding it on there. I'll drill a hole right here and I'll weld it on an angle, and then I'll stitch it right there, and then I'll grind that little spot, and it'll be a little bit of support there. That's usually how they are. For some reason, this one don't have it. I was in the back, right? I was
headed to the back.
I'm moving stuff around. I was gonna put all my stuff up earlier, but then I was like, well, I'll have it in here where I need it. So
Polanski says sometimes eyes will show you more than measure.
I didn't even turn the weld. I turned the pump on, but I didn't turn the welder on.
Uh-oh.
They're not hard to build. It's not rocket science, but it does take some skill set. I mean, people think that they can just buy them and throw them together, and that's not the case. It takes some modifying. You just got to use your brain and do some modifying. It's like a snap-tight car. You buy a snap-tight model. You still got to do some fine sanding and fitting before you put it together, or it's not going to look good. So it's the same thing with these. You got to fine tune them and move them, and we're not building airplanes. It's pretty.
But we both used to build those too.
Yeah, me and Aaron both built airplanes. We used to work. Aaron is an engineer doing airplane stuff.
Yeah, for a little bit.
I worked in trim and did trim shops, so I did the B-22 Ospreys, the Global Hawks, the Black Hawks, the 777s, I think, yeah. Some of the wing spar stuff, but.
And I worked on the B-22 Osprey too when I was a mechanic, and the C-17 and the Global Hawk and the Black Hawk and 787 a bunch of different airplanes. It was fun. Juby and I tend to work together.
We work together at Harley.
We follow each other around. We just like to be together.
We're at our end here. This is our last job together.
Well, because hopefully after this is retirement.
Yeah.
Worked at the airplane place together, the Harley place together, and now we're doing the car thing together. Now we did roofing together.
We did what? Oh, roofing, yeah.
Pow!
I didn't have that cleaned underneath here.
Oh, I saw it pull that clamp.
Yeah. I'm fixing to take it off for now. I can go down the thing, but I really should,
That's cool, William. The C-17 was my favorite airplane. That sucker is huge. Loved it. I worked on the ailerons and elevators and all the little wingy sections. Rudders, yeah. So I learned how to do close tolerance holes and also did repair and
go and no go.
No, yeah, the no-go gauge.
The no-go gauge. So building airplanes is a whole lot more stress than this. Cause
oh man,
an airplane can't just pull over on the side of the road if it breaks down.
If you blow a hole, you have blown millions of dollars potentially.
Yeah.
I was really good at it. To toot my own horn a little bit.
Oh man. This thing will throw sparks and set your beard on fire.
I close my eyes every pew. I don't have a beard.
I was going there, but I'm gonna...
William, they're about every 1.5 inches.
Huh?
Somebody asked how far apart your welds are.
So I'll get them from the outside. But this back hollering at.
Yeah. It's hot, it's hot.
So I'll let this cool and I'll spin the car and we can checking to make sure we can work on the back deck lid part. I can show that because I pretty much covered everything. I don't know what we're looking like on
We got 44%.
Got what?
44%.
44%. How many people?
19. That's still a decent amount for staying this late with us, guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab these once I'm done with them, get them off the roof.
If y'all have any questions, now's the time to ask when we got a small crew.
Second. Trying to get straightened back up here. I'm gonna pull this around to the light. Even though I should do it in the dark, that way y'all can't really see when I mess up.
Yeah, you can't pick on his mistakes.
Yeah, okay. Got that.
Not a whole lot of mistakes made. We are human. We do make mistakes.
Oh yeah, and if I do, tell me. If you see something that I left out or I didn't do that you think I should, let me know. That way, I don't send it out of here with
a mistake.
So I don't want to do that. Generally, I get everything covered. Trying to put some of this stuff back up. Cause some of it I ain't gonna need no more. Some of it I might. Get these blocks out the way. My OCD would
clean as you go.
Yeah. I gotta get these clamps here. Down there. I'm gonna end up hitting my head on one of them hanging off the side. I haven't done it yet on this one, or live at least. So the corners of my deck lid, you can see that my deck lid is all messed up right there, and I also want to fix these corners. If you look at this corner, how it is, it dips in and it's close right there. So I'm just gonna hammer that. I might end up having to slice it and hammer it in. And then I'll be able to move my deck lid up a little bit and close this gap and get this flushed out, because right now my deck lid is past the end of my quarter panel. So I wanna hammer this side, shift my deck lid up, but I can't right now because it'll hit right there. So let me find my screwdriver that I done locked in here.
Wes says that radius work on the Q panel if Juby gets time.
That's what
you're doing now?
I'm fixing to do.
Okay.
Calm down, Wes. Daddy's got you.
I don't think the floor pans do come with seatbelt brackets. I think you have to get those separate.
What? What do you mean?
Do the floor pans come with seatbelt brackets?
They don't come with seatbelt brackets, but they have the holes for it.
Yeah.
They got the bolt spots, which is right here. That's where your seatbelt bolts there. And then right here on this side, right there, and then the rear one's right there. So
it's set up for them.
You got the one right here, one right there. That's your rear seat. Then you got the one right here and right here. That's the inside, the driver's side and passenger side. I mean, there ain't no bracket. That's just it screws on to the end of the seat belt, lace, whatever. So,
Mr. Polanski's wife is laughing because you keep saying deck lid. I guess that's, what do we call it? What else is it?
This is a deck lid.
Or a trunk lid.
It's a deck lid.
It's a deck lid though, yeah.
This is deck lid. This is the deck filler.
Hey, Bubba!
This is the back deck. So
yeah, gotta go feed them cheering.
We're out here on the back deck.
We're on the back deck.
Deck filler,
the deck filler lid. And the deck lid, that's right.
So I'm gonna... Now I have this hammer and I've made this little radius in it.
Martha Stewart.
And that's what I use. And I just... I would say you could take the deck lid off, but if you take the deck lid off,
then you gotta
reset it up here to check it. So and sometimes I use my little I'm missing it.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. What happened to it?
Your strap?
No, not my strap. My, I used it Where did I use it? I used it on the roof. And it's still up there.
Jay and William, we have not determined what next Tuesday will be yet.
Sometimes I use my punch, and I just take my punch and work it back. Now, I'd probably radius it a little bit. You want to keep it angled on the same plane as that slope while you're doing it. I'm getting a little aggressive there because that's where my weld is, but I didn't weld all the way up, so I'm just trying to drive it above the weld. What?
Bubba says we must have went to Dollar General to eat supper.
Uh-oh, we did the hobo trail.
Hobo trail.
So, you can see it. You see how it looks now?
Oh!
It's open, and it's even with that.
And you didn't even have to split it.
And I didn't split it. So now, I'm just gonna drive this back because this gap here and this gap here will be good, but this here is still gonna need some work. So now I'm just gonna work around this corner and open it up and kind of make it even. I'm gonna shift the deck lid.
The deck lid. Bubba, I did stay at the house for a couple hours longer this morning because I knew we'd be here a couple hours late this evening. So hopefully the puppies don't know that I'm late yet.
Yeah, and she made me a whole big tub of sausage.
I did. I brought him sausage and meatballs.
My arm's fatiguing.
Wes said it looks like that would buckle the metal.
No. You can see it. It still looks fine.
Yeah. Well, you're not
I mean, I'm not
manhandling it either. You're giving it enough to make it move, but
now I'm gonna move my deck lid back so I can tell more now.
how much difference is in the Camaro than the Nova as far as the rear quarter panels, trunk, when it comes to installing? Are they a whole lot different, or the same kind of idea?
Well, kinda. They're a little bit trickier because you need the bumpers and the tail light bezels and all that stuff. You have to get everything formed to it. What am I looking for?
And we can't really take in Novas unless you've got a good roof and good rockers, because they don't make those parts.
So, I'm fixing to take this latch out. That way.
I thought you welded that thing in there.
I did weld it in, but I didn't weld the... I'll leave it in there for the guy. But,
no, we didn't do a series on a 68 Camaro because we did the series on this Camaro.
And 68's the same as the 69 and the 67.
Yeah.
There's
minuscule differences.
Trunk floor, tail panel. Rest of it's pretty much, the A-pillars are a little bit different. Not much though. Get my key out. I don't lock the key in. So
Well, let me rephrase that. There are Nova remakes of the roof and the rockers, but we found that we don't like them and will not use them.
They don't
fit.
Work good. All right, so now it's pretty close. It looks like it could go a little more once I get that fixed. But you can look at that, and the gap is good.
It's so beautiful. Well said, it's magic.
So that's all I do. And now I'll do the same thing on the other side, but right now I'm gonna fix this little corner so I can get Aaron out of here and y'all satisfied.
We're at 25%.
Yeah, so, and that camera will probably go pretty quick. I got
67, 8, and 9 are all generally very, very similar.
Yes, they build exactly the same. And the measurements are pretty spot on with all three of them.
We're gonna get shirts made, Juby. It's gonna say, it's not magic, it's Juby.
No, we ain't. We gonna kill that thought right there. What did I do with my...
We could get some made that say, throw it from the road.
Throw it from the road. Unreal. That's what it's gonna say. Unreal.
Unreal.
Throw it from the road.
Throw it from the road.
I was actually thinking about it Jesus tonight. There it is.
Yeah, Albert's not on.
Yeah, I was gonna make me one that says I am. Just I am.
I am.
That's what
I am saved. I am blessed.
Okay, so the gap looks good all the way till about right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split it.
I'm gonna get back.
I'm gonna split it just inside of it, and then I'm gonna continue my split all the way down because I wanna weld that gap up that's already there.
And you're doing the split on the bend?
Yeah, so okay. I'm gonna do it on the bend, but just on the inside of the down piece. That way I'm welding to where I can do my radius. So when I'm grinding, if I do it way out here, you'll see the bend. You try and stay close to it, so you're just moving it over. So I'm just gonna, and I'm gonna split it to where I'm in line with that, where I'm straight. So you'll see. So, but you can see I cut straight to where when I hammer that over, I'm gonna go on down to here with it so that I can fix this corner. Because that corner is usually not welded and sometimes it is. So, I'm just finessing it a little, and I'm gonna open up the back, and I can show you on this one. You can see how fat, and this in here, you can see the fold is on the inside right there. It's all, the fold is in here. So when I split it, I'm gonna fix all that and make it smooth. So I'm gonna get my little Martha Stewart hammer.
There's Charlie.
Huh?
Charlie.
Oh. He ain't been here all night, has he?
He had to go to the soccer game, hockey game.
Well,
Bubba says we need to do a 56 Dodge truck.
Uh-oh.
Mopar.
So, you can see that it's pretty close. So, I'm just opening it a little and trying to make it look uniform. And then when I weld that, I'll weld that, and then
your gap will be beautiful.
That's why I tell everybody when their gap is wide right here, but this here's touching, you want to pull your quarter panel over using the trick I showed you to pull your quarter panel over and get the gap good here. Don't worry about it touching here, because if you make this gap here good and the gap good right here and this is wide open, you got to split that and you got to add metal in there, and it is hard to add metal. If you go ahead and rack your quarter over and get this here tight, you can always just cut like that. You can cut all the way up to here, you can cut all the way up to here, but cut it up and then hammer it over, and then you're only filling 2 pieces of metal like you were butt welding 2 together, and it's a whole lot simpler. I'm gonna hit it with my pad here so I can. So I don't have no issue with the weld popping and jumping and whatever else it wants to do.
Jay, you can ask the question here, and if we have time or we have the answer, we'll definitely go over it right now. If not, I put my email in there and you can send your questions to the email. I don't know what I did with my, it's over here. Bubba, that's a fantastic idea. He said you got to do the $56 and give it to me.
Give it to who?
Me.
Oh, man.
Me! Uh-oh, hood up. Which means my eyes were open too, so.
I was just holding it in, and so whenever I weld anything like this,
Charlie, it's not an all-nighter. We're at 17%.
I like to keep it cool so it'll make stuff warp. You also want to pay attention to the up and down. If it needs to come up, which you can stick a screwdriver in there and you can work it up and down. But right now it's pretty flush, so.
Your mom says she's still here with
My mom?
you. Miss Pat's still here. Hey, Miss Pat, I love you.
She'll be up till
2 a.m.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Bubba says he's thinking about redoing his 69 GMC with a 632 big block. Oh!
So, now I'm just gonna grind it.
Look at that gap, guys.
Figure out this thing's leaking.
Yeah,
It's driving me crazy.
it's making noises.
I had to get a new one.
We still got 26. Charlie and Ty said they're going to watch from the beginning first thing in the morning. Because Wes told them that they missed out on that radius fix you just did.
You also tell Charlie that this is part 2, that we done ran one battery down. Is Wes still there?
Yeah.
He better be, because I'm doing this for him. I'm pulling an all-nighter for West Perry.
That's what Charlie said, marathon build.
Now, I have been known to have to move this angle in here. You can tell it curves out far, but when I shut my deck lid, I'm gonna look at my deck lid and see how it profiles out here. And if it's real far away, because I'm trying to keep it right here, then sometimes I've had to split this and pull this in, because you can't always just go off of this. You need to go off the corner of your quarter panel and your deck filler. So chances are, I think this was pretty good. I don't want to do everything, you know. I got to leave some for the body man. I can't take all the body man's money.
He's actually sending his body man to pick it up.
Yeah. So the body man got to eat too. When he gets here, he might want me to put couple little spots in it.
Yeah, to give him something to do.
So, I mean, that's good. The body man's got something to work with, you know.
Man, that's pretty.
That's what I do.
That's nice, baby. That looks good.
Now up here, I'll hit that with the sander. I'll just flat it because it's got a little crown, but I'll hit it flat with the sander. I can't really tell from here, but it looks good.
We may have about 5 more minutes.
Yeah, probably. So in my corners, I always stitch the corner here. Then right here, I'll stitch up that, and I'll stitch all the way across this. I'm gonna trim this because I can see it's hanging low. And then right in here where I can't get a spot weld because of the inner structure brace, it'll get a stitch right here. So it'll be stitch, a stitch, and then right here in the corner, it gets a stitch. The other side, real quick, you'll be able to see that the roof is totally like off. It's or the quarter panel, but look at that big old hole. Now when you run into something like that, don't be like, oh, I got something wrong.
And don't lose your mind.
Because that's how they come. So what I usually do is I'll weld that, I'll fill it with weld, and then I'll grind all that and hand grind it. So that's what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm gonna weld that because it gets a stitch here, and then I'm gonna hand grind that piece on through. And then, like I say, stitch there. It'll get a stitch in the middle right here where the brace is, where you can't get a spot weld. Then it'll get stitched all the way around. I'll trim that right there a little bit.
We're up to 28 people, and if we lose you, we really appreciate you guys for tuning in for the second half.
And the same thing here. This will get stitched all the way across. It'll get stitched there, and then when they go back, they'll put the lead in there, and be good. So yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I'm gonna basically do the same thing on this side. I'm gonna fix this, and I'm gonna weld the dash in. I'm gonna finish out the roof, and it's pretty much a wrap. I'll go on the lift with it and clean up the bottom side, and we'll be done. I gotta run around the outside perimeter and do the spot welds on this because I got the clamps there, but it's pretty much there. It's gonna be the same thing around the bottom with the spot welder, just like the roof. And I think I covered about everything. I do got to put a 4-speed
Yeah, don't forget the 4-speed.
Which I have a template that I lay on here, and it tells me where to cut for the 4-speed, and all I do is just lay the little plate on there and I spot weld it from the inside. So I'm trying to go over everything and make sure I got everything covered.
Wes wants you to take a picture of the finished roof to cell panel junction after welding, please.
Which one? The right here?
I believe so.
Yeah, I'll get him one.
I'm gonna get him some new gloves.
Let's see. Well, I don't know. What are we at on percentage?
3.
Yeah, it's probably gonna die. I'm gonna say I'd do it, but I gotta weld this side, and so. But yeah, I'll get some pictures of it. And like I said, what I was talking about is this, the profile in here. It's pretty even. Where how far it's sticking out. Now the gap will change whatever when they put the rubber in there and get the rubber setting and get this profiling right. Now like right here, you can see this is kind of low. Now the way I'm going to fix that is before I spot weld my trunk gutter, I'm going to put a screw jack in there and jack that up just like I did the center. I'm going to jack it up and I'm going to pull this quarter panel up past it. Then when I weld my trunk gutter, I'll take the screw jack out and it'll fix that. You want to go past though, because you can always go further down. You can't hardly get it to come back up once it's welded. So I'm going to screw that thing up and I'm going to weld it, and when I put that piece in there, it's going to be 2 pieces and it's going to help. So that's kind of low, which actually my corner, actually it ain't. I'm gonna get this worked and get this laid in here right, because when this comes down in the corner, it's good. So I'm gonna adjust on the deck lid and get the deck lid down right here.
I'm gonna get you some new gloves before I get a pop knot.
Oh my. So, but anyways, I hate for it to cut off and
It's
lose y'all.
1%.
It's at 1%, so I'm gonna probably end it now. Love you guys, and we'll see y'all next Tuesday with something. We're gonna do something.
We don't know, but it's
We're
gonna be
work.
something.
We'll be doing something. So, anyways, love you guys, and we'll see y'all next Tuesday. Hit the like, share, subscribe.
Hit the bell so you get notifications for when we go AWOL and do a double shot Thursday tech talk.
Yeah, all-nighter. Yeah, I can't believe that battery's lasted this long.
I know, I'm proud of it.
So, but yeah, that's it. And I'll get you, Wes, some pictures to the chat. And
yeah, because I'm going to make him take a whole bunch of photos anyway for the flash drive for the customer.
Oh yeah, well, you might have to go get pictures from the online.
From the online. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's this has been a completely different build than
you talking about just general pictures of the car.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump over here and I'm gonna finish welding this trunk gutter. The roof gutter here, drip rail. I'm gonna finish welding that, and then I'll end up stitching these things, getting rid of them clamps. I'll probably go ahead and throw the dash in today, and I'm gonna start welding around. And then I'm probably gonna call it quits and just come in early in the morning and try and wrap it up, because I'm pretty
Ain't no try, you have to. It's just leaving at 9 a.m.
Yeah, he said about 9. I'm gonna just leave the door shut and locked and pretend like I ain't here till about 10. No, but I'm gonna go grab this and I can go ahead and start welding. I got to make my piece again.
Oh, your little connector, whatever it is.
Yeah, there's a couple in here, but you can see they done got short, and what they were old ones. So them ain't no good no more, but I'm gonna go over here and regrind on this one. And it'll last.
I love you, Mama.
So I'm gonna go. Had to give me a new blade on here.
Well, I'll tell you, this knockoff battery's last percent's a long hauler.
Probably gonna cut off right here.
Yeah.
I end up hitting it with a you can do this at home, like with that Harbor Freight spot welder, the little handheld. You can make your pieces like this to go down in your drip rails when you're welding it. It works the same way as this one does. I don't need that.
Yes, Wes, the battery is absolutely in overtime.
Yeah, that thing's just pulling an all-nighter, isn't it?
I said 5 minutes and we're going on 10.
Y'all probably think she's playing. Like, oh yeah, it ain't to the end yet.
No, I'm gonna let it roll until it just cuts off on its own. I'm sorry. 3 hours of Tech Talk Thursday. Wow.
I really need to sharpen the end of that one.
I'm gonna let it go until a few more minutes. I gotta go feed my children.
Let me get my...
Oh.
Uh-oh. Give me my... These stools work great. They're from Lowe's, and they extend. And they fold.
Yeah, they're nice.
I think it was pretty expensive, but it's worth it.
I don't think anything at Lowe's is cheap.
I've had it for...
A couple of years at least.
Yeah. For about 3 years.
I let Juby feed Rocket.
Yeah, Rocket. The cat don't like that I feed Rocket.
No, our kitty cat does not like that the raccoon comes and visits, and he really does not like for us to feed the raccoon. Kitty cat's gotten brave and comes upstairs and hides under the bed, and then when you walk by he reaches out and paps on your feet. Scares you to death.
Start back in the middle.
I hadn't seen the possum in a while.
Hey, well that 1%.
I'm telling you, it's hanging on.
I think that thing's hanging on like my gas hand in my Jeep.
This 1% is hanging on like your gloves. Yeah, and the gas hand in your Jeep. Y'all, this man will drive, it'll say 0 miles till empty. He'll go 20 miles out of this way.
Oh.
To pass, you ain't got no gas?
Yeah, and there ain't no store right here.
Well, I guess I gotta stay until you're ready to go.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm on 0. And I floated in this morning.
You floated, I figured.
And there ain't no store open.
Nope, there's nothing open between here and home.
Oh.
Wow.
Unreal.
Ow!
Well, when the camera's done, we'll fly through some stuff. I'll hit it into overdrive. Then again, I really need to, well, yeah, because I might come in early.
Well, I can come in early with you. I don't mind that.
I didn't clean the bottom. I put
work together, so I don't have anything to do, but just take some money. Nope, Dollar General ain't got no gas.
No, I do got a can of gas in there. In the Jeep, I keep a can of gas in it.
Yeah, he's always prepared for in case I were to leave and he had to get home, but
I don't want to use it because then it takes me forever to get the money up to refill it.
Ain't got nothing to do with money. You just you do not like stopping at a gas station.
I do. I stop for a bottle of Coke.
Yeah, you'll get Coke and peanuts.
Unreal.
Now you better be stopping for water.
Woo.
Dollar General would have a monopoly if they started selling gas. Put everybody out of business. I'm telling y'all, this 1% on this camera is ridiculous.
They like, man, she was lying.
She's telling stories out of school. That thing's on 11%, not 1.
I can't believe it. The GoPro one though, if it gets 1% or 3%.
Yeah, it dies at 3. It gives up at 3.
This says, all right, I'm retiring.
Yeah, the GoPro battery's like me in gas. When it says half full, you gotta fill it up. This battery's like Juvie in his his gas tank. Oh, we can make it about 40 more minutes. And we got 30 people.
Ooh. Well, we got another one.
No.
We need 1 million more people. No, because we're going to pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
Besides what I'm going to do for West here. All the spot welds now.
So the roof is secure.
Yeah. Now I'll get my welder right here, and I'll do the part here. It might hold out for West.
Might do it.
Well, I got to do I need to do the spot welds. I can't do all that shit. It's probably not gonna hold out for that.
I'm honestly surprised at how long it's been sitting at 1%.
I forgot I got to do the panel to the quarter.
You plug welded the drip rail to the body?
Huh?
You plug welded the drip rail to the body?
When?
I'm asking.
No, I just spot welded it.
Oh, spot weld.
Why would you ask if I plug welded it?
Because that's what Wes said.
Alright. The roof? Oh, the quarter panel? The quarter panel to the inner structure?
It says drip rail to body, I don't know.
Oh. Yeah, I plug welded it. I plug welded that part. He's talking about the grip rail. I don't know what. Now, I'm gonna start inside at the at that bracket. Uh-oh.
It says 0% and it's still going.
Now I ran my spot welder all the way up against that bracket in there. That way I could get the max in on my. So now I got that. I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna come from the back side, but I'm gonna go from the middle to the out. And you don't want